Stick to the plan. Don't improvise. Anticipate. Let's talk about that. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Movie Emporium's movie review of the new Netflix original movie, The Killer. This movie is, of course, directed by David Fincher. So, The Killer is a story about a hitman, of course, played by Michael Fassbender. It's a story of a gentleman who basically is a hitman for hire who is tasked in this movie to take down a specific individual. It doesn't go very well. So, when things don't go very well in the hitman world, there are loose ends and ties and so on and so forth that need to be finished. So, therefore, he is put in a predicament where he basically has to take down the whole outfit because of what they do to him as an individual and his girlfriend. So, it basically becomes this kind of methodical quest, similar to like, I don't know if you added yoga or some kind of therapy into this world of a hitman, basically on a revenge quest in a lot of respects. So that's what this new film is by David Fincher, starring Michael Fassbender. So David Fincher, one of the best directors working today, one of the best directors of all time. He is very competent at what he does. He's very stylistic. He comes off a little cold sometimes, but it's just his style. He is very much all about making human misery into an art form. To be fairly honest, anything from Seven or The Social Network. He loves his look into the human psychology and human mind and taking it to its most brutal form and most animalistic form. So when it came to The Killer, it was nice that he was working with Michael Fassbender, who I don't think he's worked with before, and he basically has Andrew Kevin Walker, who has come back, who has worked on some of his other scripts, but most notably Seven. And of course, he is a director that just came off the Oscar thing that was Mank. So I was really looking forward to this. I did love Mank a lot. I think I put it in my top 10. And Michael Fassbender as a hitman, sign me up. I'm looking forward to it. David Fincher, bringing on Atticus Ross and, of course, Trent Reznor and Eric Messerschmidt and stuff like that back to do this film. And so with that said, I'll be honest with you, I just wasn't a big fan of this movie. It's a very good looking movie. It's well shot. It's perfectly what I would call paced and kind of how it's positioned itself, which is what David Fincher is known for doing. He knows what he wants. He knows how to shoot it. Yes, it takes him 1,000 shots or shot 1,000 takes to do it, but he knows how to position a camera and how to use it effectively. I just don't think the story was very good. I think it's very weird. I think it's choppy. I don't think it makes a lot of sense, to be fairly honest. Yes, it's a very toned down story. It feels very close to like David Fincher's earlier works. I've heard a lot of people talk about how this is kind of a personal film to him, and I get that. It's about a guy who is questioning his morality, about questioning his lot in life. But he's also a guy that just kind of wants to settle down. I think he's kind of at the end of his rope. And it has some really cool moments. It has some really cool, interesting ideas. I think the idea of the fact that it's like taking down, one boss after another, after, take a goon or taking a big boss down. It's a really interesting, video game metaphor, video game montage in a lot of respects. I just think when it boils down to, I just don't think I was very invested in this film. I don't think I was very interested by it. I think it's a little too haphazardly put together. I think it's as meticulous as David Fincher can be, especially with his cinematographer and the writing staff and everybody involved. I just think that this movie loses its way pretty quickly, and it takes forever to get going, especially at the beginning of the film, because it literally focuses probably for 15 minutes on one set location, and then it just kind of goes into full throttle, and it just kind of keeps going and going and going and repeat and rinse and repeat. And I find that David Fincher is much more talented, to be fairly honest, than what he was put here. And it doesn't make this movie a bad movie. It's not a terrible movie. It's just not one of my favorite David Fincher movies. I love movies like Social Network and Seven and Zodiac and stuff like that. But this is in the camp of Curious Case of Benjamin Buttons and stuff like that, where I don't feel like I ever garnered any interest after watching this, or while I was watching this movie. I just was kind of wondering how long it was. Thank God it was only less than 2 hours. I was like, thank God this movie's not going to be that long, or I would have kind of just kind of wanted to walk out of the theater. But once again, it has a great score by Ross and Finch, of course, Reznor and Finch. It has great looking set pieces. It has interesting kind of concepts. This is kind of one of the first movies I've ever seen where he's done an action set piece where it's straight up fighting. Maybe outside of like Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, but it's interesting, but it feels so weird for David Fincher, to be fairly honest. And like I said, this is based off a comic book, I think a French comic book or something like that. So I get that he wants to keep close to the material and he's very meticulous in all of that nature. I just think in the end, I think, everybody involved are fine. I think Michael Fassbender is fine. I think Tilda Swinton is fine. I think Arliss Howard is fine. I just don't think the movie really... It does this thing where it has like a narrator similar to like Fight Club or something like that, and I just was so annoyed by that. I think when narration is good, it works really well, but when it's like this level of tedium, to be fairly honest, I just don't think it worked. So overall, it's not my cup of tea. It will be for a lot of people, but for me, as a David Fincher movie, I expected more. I just didn't get what I was hoping for. So overall, I did not like this movie. It's not going to be my top 10. It won't be in my top 10 worst, but it's just not a film I enjoyed very much. So anyways, with that said, that is my take on David Fincher's The Killer. It will be in limited release in theaters, but it'll also be in Netflix very, very soon. So if you're interested, definitely look forward to that. But otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Comments below. What is your favorite David Fincher movie? Are you looking forward to The Killer? All that good stuff. But if you like what you see on this channel, hit the subscribe button to join Movie Emporium. Hit that notification bell top to find what's coming next. If you like this video, awesome. Hit that like button. As always, we'll see you guys on the next video. Peace out.